Hey everybody, welcome back to the Chaotic Little Book Corner. My name's Acacia. Today we're going to be doing the 25 bookish facts tag, and we're going to jump right in. I saw this on Brittany's channel. I'll link it down below. I did this because she and I overlapped on quite a few different things, so ta-da. Number 1, I did not learn how to read until I was in the 3rd grade. Possibly 4th fluently, like it was really a struggle. And my family really loves to tell the story about an author's tea party. Because I really struggled learning to read, I was even worse at writing. There was an author's tea party and everybody else had written like probably a 2-page story or something like really ridiculously simple for a 2nd grader, and I took up a blank piece of paper and stood up and talked for 10 minutes and told a story that I made up on the spot. So there's that. Number 2, I grew up wanting to own books physically because I was really terrible at sports, and after I learned how to read, books became like an achievement and a trophy that like symbolized that I'd accomplished something and done really well. Number 3, books were an end of the year prize for me. I'd get out of school, last day of school, probably like noon, and then we'd drive into Portland and we would be able to go to Borders and pick out 5 books. And when I became older and I had like reading lists for the summer, I was allowed to pick out 3 books from my reading list and 2 books for fun for the summer, and then the rest of them I had to get from the library. But I always left with 5 books at the end, and then we also got Chinese takeout that night, so winning. Number 4, both sets of my grandparents are avid readers. My grandmother on my mom's side was always happy to bring us to the bookstores when we were children, and there was one specifically right near where she lived that I remember very distinctly. It's still there, but they've redone it, and it's nowhere near the same as it used to be, because it used to be like wall-to-wall books. Now there's like empty shelves, and it's really sad. But it used to be like so filled with books you could barely move, and it was really wonderful, and I always remember going in there with her and all my aunts and my mom and my sister and just spending hours browsing, and I usually left with a couple of good books. Fact number 5, I have read Sybil 58 times. Fact number 6, I hate ebooks. Fact number 7, TBRs do not work for me. To be read lists do not work for me. I like appreciate that up here I have my books that I have not read yet, so like these are to be read, but I'm not gonna give myself like a list of how to go. Like, it just doesn't work for me. I don't like being told what to read next. I like to kind of feel it out as I go. Number 8, I had an obsession about the Holocaust when I was 13 years old, and I unfortunately was in the special reading class because I'd struggled with it for so long. My homeroom teacher was the advanced reading class teacher, and they did a segment on the Holocaust, and so when I found out they were doing that, I went to her and asked her what books they were reading. And so she would give me the book that they were reading at the time, and the kids would each be given like a week or something to finish the book, and I'd come back to her within a day and be like, okay, what's next? And she'd be like, no, you didn't read that. And I'm like, no, I did. What's next? She did not know what to do with the child who was in the lower special reading class who was reading books faster than her advanced reading class. She was really not sure. Number 9, I sell or give away books when I find a cover that I like more, just because I really like to have covers that I find very beautiful. Number 10, I struggle with fantasy. I really don't know how to read fantasy. I really don't like it all the time. When I find a fantasy book that I enjoy, I really enjoy it, but other than that, I really struggle to get in. Like, I go to the fantasy section and I don't know what to do. Fact 11, I go into bookshops and I buy books on gut feelings. Unless I go in there with a purpose, I pick up books, I hold them, I touch them, I kind of feel them in my hands, feel them cover, look at the cover. I don't always read the synopsis, I sometimes just buy on instinct. Number 12, I could happily spend 5+ hours in a bookshop, and I have. 13, I rearrange my bookshelves on a daily... Yeah, probably a daily basis, but in cusp with that, fact 14, I have panic attacks, and one of the ways that I fight my panic attacks is I will sit down and my sister will give me instructions of how to arrange a bookshelf. So like, she'll say, okay, arrange your fiction section based on color, and I will do that, and it kind of grounds me and gives me a center. Fact 15, I used to love when my books looked really well loved and really well worn and I still have several of the ones that look like that because they're so beyond sellable condition, it's ridiculous. But now I really like them to look crisp and clean and pristine. Number 16, I used to write on the spine, well, this part of the book. So I would write on here, SF for like science fiction and stuff, and I would write the genre of the book on that side of the book so that I would have my own personal library, and then I'd organize it by genre, which I still do, but I don't write on them anymore. Number 17, I used to have a table outside my bedroom when I was younger that had the book of the week on it. No one ever read that, but I always had a book of the week and I changed it every single week. Number 18, I sometimes have physical responses to books, like I will sob uncontrollably or I will throw it across the room because it makes me so angry. I get really invested in my books. Number 19, because I really struggled with learning how to read, I used to memorize books that my parents would read to me, and then I'd read it to my sister from memory. Number 20, I really love book hauls. Like, I really like book hauls. I like watching them and I like making them, but I like watching them better because I don't have to edit them after. 21, I have not found a book yet that I can recommend to every single person I come in contact with because I like really dark and morbid books, and I think almost every book that I really love has a trigger warning of some sort. Probably 98% of them involve rape. I'm a weird kid. Number 22, one of the things about my disassociation that is an interesting fact is I disassociated from the fact that I was raped for 5 years. I did not know. But in those 5 years, I had a feeling that something was wrong, and I read Speak, and it felt really familiar to me, and I couldn't tell why. So I made everyone in my family read it. Nobody got the hint. They just thought I really liked the book. Which I did. I really liked the book, but I was trying to say something. I didn't even know what I was trying to say, so, there's that. Number 23, I really love listening to audiobooks, but I like listening to them outside with my headphones on. So I like taking a cup of coffee or some water or something and going outside onto our back porch with a chair and a blanket and just sitting there and listening to an audiobook. I'm just sitting there and listening to an audiobook for a couple of chapters. 24, I need my book sets to match. All of them. I need it. Otherwise, I get really stressed out and OCD, and it gets really weird, and my poor sister has to deal with it. So there's that. 25, I read both paperback and hardcovers. I enjoy both, and I base them on cover and feelings in my hands, on which ones I purchase and have in my possession and read. So those are my 25 bookish facts. I hope they were good. I hope you enjoyed them. I hope they were 25 facts that you didn't know. Probably not, but meh. So I'm going to link down below Brittany's channel because she did this as well. She did this tag, Brittany Under the Radar Books. She has made it to the shelf. There's a little under the radar book tag that's now like on my shelf. So she's on my shelf now because she's part of my reading experience now. So there's like my book angel Amanda is now on my shelf. I actually took her little, she sent me a little note with the book from Amazon, so it's all folded up now and it's taped up so that it looks like a bookmark, and it's my Amanda bookmark. Maybe that's the bonus fact. Bonus fact! I have an Amanda bookmark because she's my book angel. Alright guys, I will see you in my next video. Bye!